All right. Moving on to like probably my most. I mean, fuck, dude. I marked the fuck out when Rose finished Joanna and Jacek by knockout. By
Tap out.
not. Oh, she tapped the strikes.
Tap out.
I'm going off of
that shit.
Yeah. But I'm going off of just what was officially announced as a knockout. But it was she did tap the strikes. But to drop her twice and the second time get on top of her, just fucking go ape shit on top of Joanna like that, and have Joanna and Jacek tap the strikes. The Boogie Woman died. That she finished the Boogie Woman. Jeremiah, what the fuck?
She got booty problems.
Yeah.
Hey, this is up there in my UFC greatest moments. When Robbie won the belt, I was emotional as fuck that night. I was that close to fucking crying when Randy beat Big Tim when he came back and won the heavyweight strap. This is up there in my top moments. I was in the fucking TV doing the Boogie Woman fucking bullshit because right before she knocked her out, I was just now fucking tweeting or on Facebook. The message I was writing was, Rose, after she dropped her the first time, I said, you belong in here. And then boom, she fucking knocked her out. So I was super fucking happy. I'm glad it humbled that bitch all the way down to JJ. I mean, I say she got rock coded. That's what I called it. When the champions get comfortable, they get in the limelight, they get famous, all the way down to JJ's newfound suntan that she got now. That bitch used to be pale as a motherfucker. Now she's living in Florida, dark as hell, riding skateboards. You know what I mean? She needed this loss to get her ass hungry again. When champions get champions, they fight not to finish the fight. They fight not to lose that fucking belt, like Tyrone Woodley's doing right fucking now. You know, what's the difference in the Wonder Boy fight tonight? He looked hungry, like the old Wonder Boy. And that's what Rose was. She was cool, calm, and collected.
Dude, that shit yesterday at the fake weigh-ins when she was reciting the Lord's Prayer as Joanna was talking all that shit. Right, the whole time I'm just like, holy shit, that is some fucking like
with her fist balled up, standing there,
scary ass shit, right? Like I'll say, like you guys seen fucking Pulp Fiction when Samuel L. Jackson's about to pop somebody, he gives like the coldest speech ever. You know what I mean? And it's like, and he will strike down with furious anger, and it's just boom. It's like, what the fuck? I thought that's exactly what I thought when Rose was doing that. So,
training day.
Yeah, Fred, Doug Rose is champ.
Yeah, listen, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. When I seen her motherfucking saying the Lord's Prayer and looking the way she did, I didn't know what to make of it at first. I didn't know whether Rose was going to come out and do exactly what she did or whether she was going to come out and lay a fucking egg on us. Yeah. Like, I really did. I'm a big Thug Rose fan, but I didn't know whether the moment was getting the best of her. She's not Fedor. She's never known to be completely cheerful or jovial, but she was noticeably quiet, noticeably very Fedor-esque, very stoic this whole time. I mean, even when fucking JJ was fucking like touching her with her fists and shit, you know what I'm saying? Rose didn't blink. And I'm like, is Rose shook or is she just about to murder this hoe? Apparently it was the latter. And yeah, listen, man, there's a lot to be said for the fact that Joanna has obviously been drinking a little bit of her own Kool-Aid. You know, I'm going to break you. I'm going to eat your soul and all this bullshit. Listen, one thing that we should everybody involved in MMA should know, whether you're a hardcore fan, a journalist, a fighter, an amateur fighter, we should all know that anything can happen. And anybody that is in there fighting for the belt in the UFC, even the most unworthy of challengers, probably deserves it in some way, shape, or form. And you better fucking take that person seriously. Now, I don't know if Joanna did not take Rose seriously. Maybe Rose is just that good and she's came into her own and she would have won this fight no matter what Joanna did. But you can't discount all the shit talk, like the leather jacket, the defenses. I have a big secret for you tomorrow. Apparently you don't got no secrets for nobody. Apparently fucking Paige Van Zant's getting that goddamn title fucking shot you thought you was getting, Slim. So listen, Rose looked amazing. humble pie for fucking Joanna. I think most of us are probably pretty stoked at that, except for the diehard Joanna fans. It makes the division a fuck little more exciting. Shit all around, man. And I mean, what the fuck, right? This is why we love it. That adrenaline. Listen, even if you're a Joanna fan, that feeling that you got right after Rose won that fight and knocked her out, that's what we're all here for, man. I've been on the losing end of that. I'm a BJ Penn fan. He's my favorite fighter of all time. So believe me, seeing him lose to Dennis Seaver makes my nuts retract up into my belly. But hey, man, this is what we're all here for. And that's it, man. Like, that's what makes this whole fucking thing so exciting. Fantastic performance.
Yeah, and look, this is a fight that I necessarily want to see as a Rose fan, because I thought Joanna was going to just start her the way she starts everybody else. Another person that didn't want to see this fight was Ashley Embry. Ashley didn't want to see this shit for anything. Huge Joanna fan, maybe even a bigger Rose fan. That being said, when Rose finished her out, the first one that hit me up, my phone started blowing up immediately. It was my boy right here. Your thoughts, sir, on that fight?
Yo, it was the craziest thing ever. Like, this was one of those fights where nobody was realistically giving Rose a chance. Nobody was. Everybody was behind Joanna, and rightly so. You know, I've said it before, and I still stand by this. To me, Joanna is the greatest female fighter in MMA history. I stand by that, even with this loss. I think Joanna is the greatest of all time in women's MMA because of the dominant displays that she's been able to put on everybody. The difference is this time when she came through and all these presses and all these weigh-ins, all this other bullshit, when she's talking shit in front of Rose's face, Rose didn't move. Rose didn't talk afterwards, causing like any kind of pandemonium. She wasn't kicking off. She wasn't angry after the weigh-in. She wasn't angry after any interaction with Joanna. Literally, every time she's like, okay, cool. And then she's reciting the Lord's Prayer and all that other bullshit. She's just, okay, cool. And every time you saw Joanna get angrier, talking about like, I'm going to beat you up. Okay, cool. I'm going to take your soul. Okay, cool. And then it got to that point where you was like, there's nothing else left for Joanna to say. And by that point, Rose has won. Because mentally, we're so used to Joanna getting a little bit of a rise. She's usually, you know, a little bit cocky, a bit playful. But this time, she was so adamant that she was going to put on a display. She put all this pressure on her shoulders. And Rose literally was like, I'm not supposed to be here. I'm not supposed to, like, win necessarily. Everybody's rooting against me. Like, that's cool. Like, if I lose, then what have I got to lose? Nothing, because it's already expected of me. Rose looked phenomenal. I thought she did exactly what she needed to do. She didn't bait her. She didn't try and pressure her by going too far forward and risk getting struck. She literally stayed at arm's length, legs length, perfectly staying in distance away, just enough to avoid everything that Joanna was doing. Joanna was getting more and more pissed, and then she was having to push forward, and then she was getting clipped. And at one point, you know, it looked like she was going to actually take her back. And it looked like she was going to actually get in there. And like I thought she was going to do, I thought she was going to take the back and sub her. That was my prediction. You know, I got so much flack for the Rose stuff. And I couldn't be happier for Rose because we finally got something where, you know, as cheesy as a post-fight interview was, and it was cheesy, don't get me wrong, all that kind of like, we need to love each other. Like, it was some hippie-ass bullshit, I get it. But you know what, right? It was cool as fuck to see somebody who's a good person come through and overcome insurmountable odds that everybody put against her. It was fucking beautiful, man. Regardless of, you know, I'm a fan of Rose, I'm a fan of Joanna, and, you know, nothing's changed in that. But it's just fucking cool that sometimes the good guy wins, or the good woman wins in this case.
Listen, you know what was dope about what Rose said after her win? I believe her. Shit's whack. Like people always talk about, should this person or that person be like Conor? No, man. Nobody should try to be like Conor. You should try to be yourself. The reason why what Rose said wasn't corny or cheesy is because she meant it.
Yeah.
And she actually, it was real. Like, of course it was cheesy, make no mistake about it. Yeah. But she wasn't like it wasn't a show. She's just a unique person like that's been through a lot of trauma, has dealt with a lot of shit. And that bitch is on top of the mountain now. Most motherfuckers don't know what that's like. She's like a rapper. like Jay-Z or something, you know. She's like from the hood, Milwaukee. There's a reason why her nickname is Thug. You hear the way she talks? Like a lot of these fighters didn't have an upbringing like that girl has. And now to be the champion, like most of us don't know what that type of journey's like. I believe her when she said it, and that's what makes it real and cool.
Yep.
There's millions of girls around here. There's a million.
She's grown up a lot from when she was on the show. You know how she talked on the Tough Show? Yo, what's up, Rose? Man, I'm like, whatever. And then you hear her now. And did y'all see one of her interviews that she done yesterday during fight week where she was crying? Was it yesterday or the day before where she started crying?
I didn't see it.
Well, they asked her about her dog. That's is your dog still doing good? And she was like, yeah. And she started to cry a little bit. And they was like, you're emotional now. Why are you crying? And all she said, she just stayed there looking straight ahead. And she said, I'm the best in the world. She just believed in herself, and I am happy for her, man. It is like a storybook ending. She's grown so much, because how old was she when she fought, as far as 20, 19, 20 years old?
She's like 21, maybe.
21 years.
And I'm like, Fred, I believe that shit that she was saying, because my neighbor was talking shit because of the speech that she was giving. He was like, oh, I hope she don't talk shit. And I said, she's not going to talk shit. That's not who she is now. She's grown up.
Yeah,
and it's awesome that we've watched her journey. You know what I'm saying?
She's going to have millions of girls right now, millions of girls around the world, you know, that are going to see this video over time. These girls are going to really relate to this bullshit, that not every girl is one of these chicks that's, you know, a badass per se. You don't have to be a shit talker. You don't have to be a Joanna. You don't have to be, you know, an Amanda Nunes. You don't have to be a Cyborg. You don't have to be those kind of people. You don't have to be a Ronda. You don't have to be one of these people that's like aggressive. You can be a mixed martial artist, and that's the key word, artist on the end. Like, you can be a star overnight from just putting hard work and just believing in yourself and being a good person. And that's what she's done. And there's a lot of people who can't relate to Joanna, and there's a lot of people who, like Kirby said, there's a lot of people, man, who can relate to being in shit situations and trying to fight through and break through. And that's what she's done. Like you say, top of the mountain now.
Yeah, when she dropped Joanna and she was hitting it with those shots, something was different about those shots, because that was like years of fucking pain, tears of blood, everything into every one of those shots to make Joanna tap like that. She popped up. I think she made a couple faces at her corner, and then the tears flew out, and that's how you know it was so real. And that's what you want from your people, right? Just be real.
Listen, we had 3 new champions tonight, right? Yeah. One, GSP. This shit ain't nothing new to George, Jack. This is George's bag, dog. He been the champ for moons. All right. TJ Dillashaw has tasted that shit before. He back. He knows what is like he said, he even feel like he even lost to Dominic. In his world, he ain't never not been the champion. Thug Rose, this is her wildest dreams coming true. Yeah. Like, she ain't felt this shit yet. You know what I mean? Like, I feel way more, I mean, don't get me wrong, happy for all the winners and whatnot, but way more happier for Thug than the other 2 champions tonight. Like, this will be the best night of her life by a long shot. Till she has kids or some shit, this one won't be topped.
I'm happy for Pat Barry.
Man, fucking Pat Barry. I love Pat Barry, but tonight, top that motherfucker, Jack.
Being married, me having kids, you know he's happy as fuck. His career
I know. I was thinking
all of his eggs in her basket, man.
Listen, I was thinking that actually when she won, I was thinking like, somebody please put the camera on Pat.
That's
probably start crying like a little girl.
100% started crying. There's no way he didn't start crying. Every fight that he's had, that Pat Barry, every fight that she had, he cried. Oh yeah,
100%. There's a video right now that they're waiting to put out about him backstage.
Has to be.
Or bawling like a baby.
Has to be.
They're so cool together too. You can tell
they love each other.
I like seeing them together, man.
They're the type of couple that makes you not want a side chick. Like, they're like so happy. It's like, you know what? Fuck it, man. I'd even give up that little piece of side pussy for a piece of that fucking happiness.
Oh, fuck. All right. So, yeah, needs to say Thug Rose is the shit, and she's super happy. Make this one quick. Ash, rematch or a new fight someone else?
God, you've got to run it back. You've got to, because it's just like, it's one of those fights where you just go, you know, I don't think Joanna took like damage per se like Ronda did when she got fucking cracked and like a face exploded. I don't think you have to worry about that per se. You know, when we saw her in the back when she was crying, Joanna, with, you know, like all the cornermen going around her and stuff. So she didn't get rushed off to hospital or anything like that. So let's run it back, man, because that's the only fight that makes sense. But I will say this: if my options is Paige Van Zandt fighting for that 125 title against the winner of Tough, or it's Joanna going up, fuck the rematch, throw Joanna into that real quick and get PVZ the fuck out of Dodge, because you cannot challenge with an L. Nope.
Real quick on that point, in case you guys are wondering, Paige Van Zandt put this shit out there on Twitter and wherever else they put it out there. Apparently Brett Okamoto of ESPN talked to UFC officials, and they were like, "Yeah, no, it's not happening." So who fucking knows?
For real?
Yeah, that's what they said. So who knows?
I was so pissed when I heard that shit, man.
Dude,
I would
everybody was.
Valentina.
Dude, everyone.
Let Valentina get that shit.
Nobody.
So she can hold that.
One guy lost his I wish I could remember his fucking Twitter handle. He lost his fucking mind. He goes, "This bitch went 1-3 in her last 4, and she's gonna get a title shot." What the fuck? You know, he's freaking out. So yeah, so Jeremiah saying rematch, right?
Yeah, they're gonna do a rematch. And just to touch on what you were saying when she was throwing them shots, there was a little something extra in it.
Yeah,
it was all that bullying that JJ was doing to her too. You know what I'm saying? She grew up being bullied, being in the streets. Got bullied by JJ. When they faced off, right when they was getting ready to fight, when they was in the center of the octagon, and JJ got all up in her shit, that shit just pissed me the fuck off, man. I got madder than hell when she done that. I'm glad she lost. Just, hell, I'm going to be mean about it. Fuck it.
Fred, the rematch or a new opponent?
I think you got to do the rematch, man. I mean, listen, we've kind of set a precedent for certain champions getting an immediate rematch if your title reign deems worthy by the powers that be, and the powers that be can be a little cunty. But I think Joanna, listen, if any champion deserves an immediate rematch for their title, it's Joanna, right? I mean, she deserves the rematch. All
right. I'm down with the rematch too. And real quick, it was funny because I know Ash and I talked about it. I think we might have talked about it on Keyboard Warriors with the face off at the fake weigh-ins was very Ronda Holm-esque, right? JJ was talking all that shit, and it's just Rose, cool, calm, and composed, saying the Lord's Prayer, and it was just like, ooh. And after that, remember we talked about that, and I was like, this reminds me so much of Rousey Holm. That's kind of crazy.
For real.
Motherfuckers love it to be a soldier. Must maintain composure